C7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
A two-car accident on Route 1A in Holden Monday left one driver deceased. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. Details are coming up. Also, the Carmel Fire Department responded to a car that rolled off Route 69 Monday afternoon, and the death toll from Hurricane Ian continues to rise. We'll take a look as search continues for survivors in Florida. That's coming up along with the rest of our stories. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Tuesday afternoon. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Luigi and Fredericks. Across from Eastern Maine Medical Center, serving the greater Bangor area for over 65 years. All right, we had some frost and freeze alerts this morning. Some of those had to be extended till 9 a.m. earlier this morning because of the cooler temperatures. Those have since started to taper off. Now some small craft advisories along the coast, though, with some gusty winds courtesy of a system that's really stirring up the ocean. But for us, though, we'll be under a partly cloudy sky as some of these clouds will try to sneak in from time to time today, though. But zooming things out, here's the area of low pressure right here. That's just sitting there right now, but it's going to be moving out towards sea, which will have to keep the ocean very active, though, with some of the gusty winds that it has. Back here at home, not too bad. We'll be partly cloudy today. A few rain showers will try to sneak in later on, but most of us will stay dry moving forward, especially as we head towards your Wednesday morning. Otherwise, though, the winds won't be too bad at all. They'll be out in the south to start, maybe switching to the north from time to time, at around 5 miles per hour, but maybe some areas along the coast reaching up to that 5 to 10 miles per hour range from time to time. So your forecast for today, lower 60s, partly cloudy, with an east wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 30s becoming partly cloudy, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, middle 60s, partly cloudy again, northeast breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period, a partly cloudy sky, temperatures in the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. A two-car accident on Route 1A in Holden Monday left one driver deceased. Matthew Duronsic has more.
About an hour ago, a vehicle that was headed toward Hancock County appears to have drifted into the opposite lane. Two vehicles struck, and we now have a motor vehicle fatality here.
The other driver was not seriously injured. Holden police identified the deceased as 62-year-old Joseph Wadman of Ellsworth. Greeley says this accident is one of the worst incidents to have happened since 2017. While the scene looked ugly, Holden resident Jason Hamill says this is not an unfamiliar sight.
Happens on average at least once every 2 months on average right here within this, I would say, quarter-mile stretch. We had an accident right down the road here about 500 yards right over in front of the military surplus store about a month and a half ago. There was one right over here about 3 weeks ago that was literally like 200 yards down that way. There was one in front of the gas station like 3 months ago. So
the center lane was to improve, and I don't think it's improved too much in the area. Anyways, in Holden.
Greeley says the accident this morning only shows how important it is to be aware driving.
Regardless of whatever the actual cause of this accident was, we're still working on that. The big thing is to watch your speed and drive carefully. Don't be distracted by something inside the car or outside the car. To add to that, not being under the influence of something. Again, we don't know if that was the case here, but you got to be really careful, whether it's marijuana, alcohol, or whatever, that those are not impeding your ability to safely drive a car.
Matthew Duronsic, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
A single vehicle crash in Sedgwick left one man dead on Sunday. According to the Hancock County Sheriff's Office, a crash was reported on Snows Cove Road just after 7:30 Sunday night. The initial investigation determined the vehicle was traveling south when it left the roadway, overcorrected, and hit a ditch. The vehicle struck several trees before landing on its roof. The driver, 47-year-old John Wallace of Brooksville, was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of that crash is currently under investigation, but police say speed and alcohol are likely contributing factors. The Carmel Fire Department responded to a car that rolled off Route 69 Monday afternoon. Crews had to use the jaws of life to rescue the female driver who was pinned inside the car. Penobscot County Sheriff's Corporal Ryan Fitch says there were two occupants in the car at the time of the crash. The passenger was able to get out with assistance by police. Fitch says there were several factors that led to the rollover.
At 12:08, we were called to a motor vehicle crash. The occupants of the car called us to report the crash. It appears that they were driving at a higher rate of speed than they should be on this road, and a deer ran out in front of them, caused them to go off the road and roll a couple times and get pinned inside the vehicle.
The driver was taken to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Penobscot County Sheriff seized a significant amount of drugs and money during a routine traffic stop on Sunday. The Sheriff's Department says at approximately 7 p.m., a deputy pulled over a vehicle operated by 34-year-old Roger Greco of Etna. Also inside the vehicle were 37-year-old Monica Clark of Bangor and 2 young children. During the stop, the deputy called for assistance from a drug-certified canine. A search of the vehicle's exterior led to an alert by that canine. A sheriff's office says the deputies then searched the vehicle and located more than 1,300 grams of illegal narcotics, including more than 1 kilo of fentanyl. They also found suspected methamphetamine, cocaine, crack cocaine, and an undisclosed amount of cash. The estimated street value of the seized narcotics is approximately $190,000. Deputies arrested both Greco and Clark. Both were charged with aggravated unlawful trafficking of scheduled drugs and taken to the Penobscot County Jail. DHHS was contacted regarding the welfare of the children. Officials are now reporting over 100 deaths from the monster storm that slammed into Florida last week, and search and rescue efforts are still underway. ABC's Victor Okendo has the latest.
This morning, the death toll from Hurricane Ian climbing to a staggering 103 in Florida and North Carolina. Search and recovery crews have been working nonstop since the storm passed, transporting thousands from their destroyed homes to shelters. Conditions in the hard-hit barrier islands even worse. 440,000 customers are still without power in southwest Florida. Devastating storm surge, flooding, and fierce winds produced by Ian.
Listen to that roar!
This new video captured by AccuWeather storm chasers showing wind gusts in Pine Island at 150 miles per hour. Our team visiting nearby Matlacha, where we only found a few residents still on the island.
The water got all the way to the mailbox.
Maria and her husband Chris rode out the storm inside their home.
It was 20 hours of just terror.
For now, they're staying put, even without power or water, and ever since Ian, they're isolated from most of the island. We're on Matlacha. This is a small island just north of Sanibel, and this is not a canal behind me. Look here. That's the seawall, and that barge you see flipped over, it was attached to it, but during Hurricane Ian, it ripped the seawall apart, allowing all this water inside. And if you look down there, well, that was the street. It got ripped apart, and now residents who live on the other side, they can't get in or out. Now, this is how residents get from one side to the other.
This little boat's the only way on and off this road. Just jump on, you grab that rope on the other side, and just
pull yourself over
across. That's it.
Search and rescue crews have been working Fort Myers Beach 24/7. The county manager calling the area dangerous, saying that the electrical infrastructure has been wiped out and homeowners might not be able to return for 30 days. In Fort Myers Beach, I'm Victor Okendo, ABC News.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, massive rent relief program is on pause, creating a lot of worry and renewing calls for a long-term solution. We'll explain when we return. We'll be right back.
When it looks the part, but isn't the real thing, that's fool's golden. Jared Golden promised he'd be an independent fighter against Biden's spending, but then cast a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill that experts say will hike taxes $1 billion on those making under $50,000. Golden may think we're fools, but his recent vote shows Mainers what he's really made of. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Here's this week's featured deal.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
On sale Thursday at 9 a.m. A limited supply available half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
I've been lobster fishing for over 25 years. These out-of-state groups that are funding Jared Golden, they're hurting us here in Maine, and Jared Golden isn't doing anything to stop them. There's the Jared Golden you see on TV, and then there's the Jared Golden that votes in Congress. He's so focused on getting elected that he's lost touch with what matters here in Maine, and we need someone to fight for us. Unless he leaves his party, there's no way Jared Golden can do anything to help Maine. I don't think Jared Golden's a bad guy, but he isn't a good congressman.
Join us every Friday this season as we celebrate the return to the gridiron with the most highlights, reaction, and analysis of your favorite teams. Catch Sports Blitz Friday at 11 on ABC7. Sports Blitz brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And by Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holden, where you'll find furniture that's in stock and ready for delivery.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
A massive rent relief program is effectively put on pause, creating a lot of worry for a lot of families and renewing calls for a long-term solution. Late last week, Maine Housing said it would no longer take new applications for the program, which has helped tens of thousands of Mainers. Mel Meyer looks at one option for the long run.
Jeffrey Smith lives on a fixed income. His budget is tight.
So I'd only have $41 left over for each month.
But now he's able to buy the things he needs because of emergency rental assistance.
It took me a couple months, but they were actually able to help me with a couple of months' rent.
Faced with incredible demand and only so much funding, Maine Housing changed parts of the program this summer.
We kind of, tried to slow down the program to stretch it out longer. We pumped the brakes, if you will. That didn't work.
Maine is joining other states that have already paused or ended similar programs. New applications are no longer being accepted to get through the 11,000 that still need to be processed.
I am terrified that we are going to see the number of evictions skyrocket for non-payment of rent.
State Representative Victoria Morales introduced a bill last legislative session that would have effectively added to the Section 8 program.
This policy was designed based on Massachusetts policy, where they are able to provide more vouchers to folks who are in need, and the federal government doesn't have enough for them.
Her bill gained support from housing groups and passed through the legislature, but didn't get the funding it needed. While not seeking re-election, she's hoping that similar legislation will come up again as a housing crisis continues.
This is an issue that's impacting every part of Maine.
If you still need help paying your rent, Maine Housing recommends reaching out to your local community action agency.
The town of Herman has welcomed a new fire chief. Cody Sullivan, who had been serving as the assistant fire chief in Herman, has now taken over the helm as the department's new chief. He takes over for Frank Roma, who retired last month after serving in the post for 6 years. Sullivan says former Chief Roma prepared him well for his new position.
I enjoy working with members of the department and working with members of the community that we serve. So it's really all about people. It's not about the job. It's the interactions you get to have with folks on a day-to-day basis and see the positive outcomes that you can have in people's lives.
Sullivan has been serving with the Herman Fire Department for almost 18 years. Now with Tuesday's business news, here's Leo Jonathan.
The Dow was up 2.7% Monday, the S&P up 2.6%, and the Nasdaq up 2.3%. Markets closed at their lowest levels of the year on Friday. The United Nations now weighing in on the U.S. economy, asserting the Federal Reserve and other central banks are pushing the global economy into a recession if they keep raising rates. The Fed raised rates 0.75% in September, the fifth hike in a row. Edmunds says car sales from July through September were down nearly 1%. The only standout is GM, which posted gains throughout the summer. And airlines don't have enough jets. Boeing and Airbus are months behind delivery of new jets to U.S. carriers. Both plane makers say supply chain problems continue. I'm Leo Jonathan with Tuesday's Business on ABC7.
Coming up, a siren was heard blasting across the University of Maine campus yesterday, and there will be more today, but don't be alarmed. When we return, we'll tell you all about it.
Senator Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective.
Joe has always been a champion for Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci sponsored and passed the legislation that generated more than $90 million to nursing homes in Bangor and across the state that have been hit hard by the pandemic. Joe Baldacci delivered on funding to protect health care and important services for thousands of Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective, delivering results for Bangor and Herman.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our third-generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
Saliba's Rug Cleaners in Bangor is the best and only spot you should go to for your rug cleanings. Serving Maine for more than 70 years, we care about your rugs. Clean rugs last longer, and our family takes pride in being the professionals that you can trust. Our cleaning process consists of soaking your rug in a bath, shampooing, rinsing, and drying in a humidity-controlled dry room, making sure no detail is overlooked. Need a repair? We fully service every type of rug for you. Saliba's Rug Cleaners.
We care about your rugs.
In Maine, it's always buying season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we carry new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams for your buying season. Here at Thornton Brothers, we'll help you find the right vehicle specifically for you to suit your lifestyle. As they say, the proof is in the performance. So come on over and test drive a real vehicle from a real dealership, or place your order with us and see why it really is buying season here in Maine. Thornton Brothers, Main Street, Lincoln.
Seniors know a scam when they see one, like Bruce Poliquin.
My heart is breaking for our seniors in Maine.
He says he'll help Maine seniors. But the last time Poliquin was in Congress, he voted to cut $500 billion from Medicare. And he supports raising the retirement age for Social Security. Maine seniors can trust Jared Golden. Jared stood up to both parties to protect Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine seniors earned their retirement.
The Bangor Police Department is seeking help from the public to locate a missing person. Nicole Tufu was last heard from on September 8th. She has not answered her cell phone and has not responded to friends or family on social media platforms, which is very uncharacteristic of her. Anyone with information is asked to contact Detective Robert Hallett at 207-947-7384, extension 5755, or email him at robert.hallett@bangormaine.gov. Anonymous tips may be left at the same number under extension 3. The American Red Cross of Northern and Eastern Maine has deployed 12 Mainers over the past few weeks to assist in recovery efforts after Hurricane Ian tore through Florida and the Carolinas. The death toll related to Hurricane Ian has reportedly reached 100 in just the state of Florida. The Northern and Eastern Maine chapter of the Red Cross has deployed volunteers to deliver emergency supplies, help and clean up, and most importantly, make sure people are safe. Executive Director Caroline King says she is grateful to the volunteers.
Many of them picked up, left their friends and their family, and went to help with hours or less of notice. So they are on the ground as we speak, doing the work of the Red Cross, and we are so grateful and inspired by them.
To help people affected by Hurricane Ian, visit redcross.org. Some scientists now believe the weather may be harmful to your health. With more, here's ABC's Ike Ajachi.
A study from the University of Hawaii at Manoa found that over half of all infectious diseases have been worsened by climate change at some point. The research also included some non-infectious diseases, such as asthma, and found that over 270 diseases were aggravated due to climate change. Researchers cited over 1,000 ways in which climate hazards can affect diseases. For example, when temperatures are higher than usual, mosquito season can last longer, giving them more time to spread disease. They also noted that climate change can affect the body directly through added stress, unsafe conditions, and more. Researchers say that this is a wake-up call, and we need to work on the source of the problem, reducing greenhouse gases. With this Medical Minute, I'm Ike Ajachi.
The University of Maine in Orono began testing its emergency system Monday. The University of Maine serviced its campus siren system Monday in preparation of today's full-scale test. Students, staff, and visitors will hear the campus siren system go off between 3 and 4 p.m. today. Outdoor sirens will sound for several minutes during the test. Alerts will also be sent by text message, the university's homepage, as well as on social media and throughout the campus's UMaine portal. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
Does your plug-in fade too fast? Try Febreze Fade to Fi plug. It has built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days. La 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 la.
Better skin from your body wash? Try Olay Body Wash with skincare super ingredient collagen. Olay Body Wash hydrates for healthier looking skin in just 14 days. From dry and dull to firm and radiant. With Olay Body, I feel fearless in my skin.
Jay Leno live in concert.
Researchers at Washington University report that 100,000 years from now, the average size of the human head will greatly increase. They say the larger the head and larger the jaw, the more sexually attractive people will be. So I am 100,000 years ahead of my time. That's right.
Saturday, October 22nd, Collins Center for the Arts, Orono, Maine. Tickets on sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com.
I have a great job. I get up early, head on out, and I get to work. I install solar panels. They power our homes and give me a great paycheck. When Paul LePage was governor, he opposed projects like this, putting Maine last for solar jobs in New England. He even said that climate change wasn't a threat to Maine. Look, we need more of these jobs, and that won't happen if we go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Fall is a great time to enjoy Maine's beauty, and as Craig Colson reports, the spectacular foliage makes it even better.
It was a chilly start to the day, but it turned out to be a perfect morning for an adventure. I teamed up with Maine guide Kathy Gordon for a little fishing on Pushaw Lake. We didn't have to go far to be surrounded by beauty. The countryside alive with color, wildlife is abundant. Kathy is a retired Bangor school teacher. She now teaches people how to enjoy nature in her outdoor classroom.
I think people have maybe the wrong idea of what an adventure has to be. It doesn't have to be a big, 12-mile hike. It can be a 20-minute walk in the woods.
No matter what you choose, you're sure to see some amazing scenery over the weeks ahead. According to MaineFoliage.com, far northern Maine is reaching peak foliage conditions this week. The Katahdin region is seeing moderate conditions, and the Bangor area is still low. And you don't have to travel far to take it all in.
And it's very, I think, important emotionally, mentally, as well as physically, to get outside and get that fresh air. Mentally in Maine, it's really difficult when, we lose the sun. We've already lost 5.5 hours of sunlight.
We didn't have a lot of luck fishing today, but it felt great getting outside to enjoy the view. We saw a bald eagle, a few blue herons, and even a turtle soaking up some sun. All just a short drive from home.
It is good for the soul. Nature is the most healing thing you can do for yourself. And I tell people that all the time. They're like, you always look so happy. I'm like, well, I'm outside.
In Glenburn, this is Craig Colson reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
And as the calendar turns to October, we're getting all the fall feels in Maine. That means apple picking and finding the perfect pumpkin. Johnny Maffey visits Sweetzer's Apple Barrel and Orchard in Cumberland, a one-stop shop to get all your fall fix.
It's peak apple and pumpkin picking season, especially here at Sweetzer's. This place has been around for over 200 years.
This barn was built in 1812. Maine wasn't even a state yet.
These standard trees, this block of McIntosh, these trees are about 100 years old. It's a beautiful crop this year. As we can see these McIntosh behind me on these big standard trees, they are just in perfect condition right now.
Sweetser says they have more than 1,000 trees with 50 apple varieties to choose from. Maine.gov shows there are around 50 fruit picking farms across the state. And what to do with all that fruit? Well, there's cider and pie too. Another clear sign of fall? Pumpkins are ripe and ready for your doorstep.
I really like the first couple of weekends of October. You know, the days still have some warmth to them. Everybody's just getting in the mood for, it's been a great summer, fall's on its way.
Fall is in the air. You can feel it.
There's a pretty heavy frost up here in this section of the orchard. You know, the frost is a great thing psychologically. It puts everybody in the mood that fall is here. You know, a lot of people think a little bit of frost adds a little bit of flavor to the apples, and, you know, that may be true, but the apples taste great whether we have frost or not.
Now, I'm no expert, but they say the chill in the air does add a crunch.
Now let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, happy Tuesday afternoon. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Already, we have freeze warnings and frost advisories that were extended for a few areas this morning until about 9 a.m. That has now since tapered off as temperatures are now warming up at this point. Along the coast, though, we have an area of low pressure prompting small craft advisories and gale warnings for a few areas, too, as that thing continues to sit and spin and cause some windy conditions and some rainfall, too. It's actually sending a few clouds in our direction, also trying to move in from the south, going toward the north. However, high pressure preventing that from moving in. So overall, we're looking pretty good in that regard. Let's zoom things out right now. Here we are, low pressure not too far away, tracking from the west, going toward the east, and that'll cause some very active surf along the coast, but high pressure keeping us nice for the next day or so, but a few clouds could try to sneak in. Wave height's not too bad. They're a little bit active in a few spots at around 5, even up to 10 feet according to some of the buoys, even 19 feet further off towards the south and west. So other areas seeing some active surf as well, ranging from around 5 to 10 feet in a few areas according to some of the buoys as well. In some areas, even up to 9 feet. Otherwise, though, back here at home, our average high is 63 degrees. So we'll reach for the lower to middle 60s today and tomorrow. Lower 70s for your Thursday, back in the upper 60s for your Friday. Nice cool down for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, in the lower to middle 50s and back in the upper 50s just in time for your Monday. All right, your fall foliage, we're starting to see a little bit more of this now. No change from yesterday. Millinocket about close to peak at this point. Bangor and Ellsworth has a little bit to go yet, and Greenville starting to get close to that peak as well. So the fall foliage starting to become beautiful across this part of the state. Otherwise, though, we typically peak around early to mid-October, so still plenty of time to get out there and enjoy the fall foliage before it becomes past peak and we blow those leaves away. So we get out there and enjoy it and take some nice pictures too. But otherwise, so futurecast moving forward will be under a partly cloudy sky today, and also for tonight, no precipitation expected. Tomorrow will also be dry. It's tomorrow night. We'll have a small chance for a few showers that I'll try to sneak in here. But once this low pressure begins to move away, things will really start to look a little bit on the nicer side. But that forecast for today, though, will be partly cloudy, highs in the lower 60s, with that east breeze getting out to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 30s becoming partly cloudy, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, middle 60s, partly cloudy, the northeast breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast, mostly sunny on Thursday with highs in the lower 70s. Will be in the upper 60s on Friday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance for rain. And a slight chance for rain on Saturday, otherwise mostly cloudy, highs cooling into the lower 50s.
Looks like some decent apple picking weather. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening with Peter Dubois and Beth Jones on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
To the Tournament of Champions is filled with incredible streaks.
23-day, 38-day, 40-day champion.
Heartbreaking upsets.
Oh, you bet everything.
And brushes with greatness. This fall, It all starts with the first ever Jeopardy! Second Chance competition, when 18 returning contestants face off for a shot against legends hungry for the ultimate title. This is what you've been waiting for. It's the biggest Jeopardy! Tournament of Champions ever.
All this week at 7:30, only on ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7.